suspend.
By your command.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Getting Down with Dave and JT Kirk. How are we doing today?
Good evening. I'm doing all right, Dave. I hope the chat's doing well as well. All is well that ends well, I think.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't rhyme very well. So, yeah, dude, I wish we could have done this a week ago. We're doing it now. This has been in my mind for like a week and a half. When we decided this, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. Let's do some DC. And then last week, my internet did not go well. And they are still threatening me with upgrades to my neighborhood.
Oh,
and I'm like,
that's
last
terrible.
night, Dadman was like, do you want to stream? And I'm like, give it 5 minutes. And then, yep, the internet went out at like 10:30 at night. I'm like, yep. Sorry, dude. And, he's an understanding guy. But tonight I was just sitting there eating my dinner like, it better happen. It better happen. So, hey, Dave, I'm glad to be back on your channel, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for taking my request or suggestion for the Joker. And I hope we like it, and I hope the chat likes it too.
So have you read it?
No.
Oh,
I wanted to keep
the MO.
the pattern alive. Have you read it?
Yes, twice.
Twice?
Well, once last week and then once tonight.
A good twice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm be reading it again as we go along. So all I can say is it's fun. No spoiler alerts, but be ready to suspend disbelief. It's a lot of writing for kids, and then not some of the vernacular that Joker uses. I would dare say that probably I had to look one of the words up. I got it kind of right, but I wasn't sure how he was using it, So I had to look it up. I did that like 3 times. I was like, okay, I know what that means. And then another time he makes an old school wisecrack that I had to look at like 3 times to make sure that I was like, what? There's a lot of innuendo jokes.
Sure.
And stuff like that. And
cool.
And then there's a part that the grown-up in me at one point went, oh, come on. You know what I mean?
Well, this is not the first bit of Joker that I've read, but it's been a long time, and this is the first of this era. And this is the original Joker, right?
This is the original, the Clown Prince in his own magazine.
Yes.
So we have moved on from Marvel to DC. We'll probably stick with DC for a while, unless we run into something, maybe some indie or Image. And this is only a 6-parter, I think. So short and sweet. Break off from all of the traditional people, but there's people here that I kind of recognize one of the names. Not it's not a Kirby guy, although people will probably know who they are. And the art's okay. I mean, it's 1975. There's nothing really wrong with it. And Joker kind of breaks the 4th wall here, right?
Yeah.
He's talking, or is it 3rd wall? He's talking to himself while he's talking to the characters. But it's kind of, it's talking about his own comic book. So it's breaking, like, I don't know, some kind of wall there.
Yeah, hey, 3rd and a half wall. Okay, I was going to ask you, we were trying on a different tech organization tonight, folks. Dave, can you see the chat okay?
Yeah, I can see the chat because I have that other laptop. Luckily, I do, or I wouldn't be able to make any comments at all. I can't see StreamYard on my regular laptop while I'm streaming this comic. Because you're sharing this with me.
You should see all the shit talking I'm doing backstage about you.
Oh, nice.
That you just no, I'm kidding.
Well, I can X
I'm
out
kidding.
of it.
But
it's
Shall we say
working.
hi to the chat?
Yeah.
All right.
The lovely Sherry's here as well. And FKHC 2005. It's a 69 parter. Nice.
Inhale to clobber in times. Yes. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. I can still link, but you might be able to link if we need to use it. And there we go. So we don't get an origin story, thank gosh. Right? I was a little worried about that. I was like, it's going to be an origin story, but nope. Oh boy, is locked up, man.
But Dave, you always ask me this, so I'm going to ask you, what do you think of the cover? And folks, I'm going to turn my camera off for a bit here.
Well, let me go back. I liked it. You got Penguin, you got Riddler, you got. I'm not sure who the girl is. I'm assuming.
We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out. I'm not positive either.
So remember, I said to suspend your disbelief. I mean, there's Two-Face and there's Batman, so I'm assuming.
And the Riddler.
Yeah,
a little lower is the Riddler and the Penguin.
Yeah, they look good. The Riddler and the Penguin look good.
They do. You know, is his nose always that long?
Can be. It's pretty long there.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's always been overtly obtruse. Yeah, that's kind of an inside joke that I just told JT. The Joker likes to use some highfalutin words. You might need to get your dictionary out. I did. I looked at 2 out of the 3. I wasn't sure how he was using them. I was right, but I wasn't quite sure. I had to look them up because context, right? So, yeah, that's probably Catwoman or something. I'm not quite sure the outfit. I don't think it is. I'm not quite sure she is. I'm just going to go with Catwoman.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
And then he's ripping the poster of Batman.
Yes.
Actually, it's a pretty well done poster for being ripped up.
Yes,
I thought.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure what the boots are doing. They kind of look like horse hooves a little bit, don't they?
Well, they're rocking the bell bottoms, right?
Yeah.
They're probably felt boots. Right?
Yeah.
So this is the mid 70s, early 70s type stuff going on. Even in the comic, it's an earlier type of thing for the most part, although you don't get that. They don't really put a time frame on this. It's just you go with it because it's in 75. Right? So that's pretty much it right there. Did you like the cover?
Yeah. I thought for a number 1, it's pretty darn entertaining. The coloring is done pretty well, and the characters all look good, which if it's an issue number 1, you don't want it to look like garbage. I mean, none of them you want to look bad, but this is the time you want everybody to come in, right at the beginning, because you generally don't go up in your readership or your viewership or your audience, right?
You probably get this because one, it's the Joker in his first full feature-length comic, and it's got all these characters on the front cover, and they're pretty good. The Riddler looks really good. So does Riddler and Penguin look really good there on the front page.
And I can see a lot of issue number 1 Joker covers, and if I were to rate it next to most of those, it'd be pretty darn high. I think it really set the bar high for the art expectation. And it also just screams like 60s, 70s era comimes. So,
yeah, especially with this dude's bell bottoms here on the on this splash page here.
I love the lettering choices that the style for the word Joker.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Nice green hair, and they put Joker's face right there in the middle. It's cool. And the cards. They reference the playing cards inside the Joker's label. Yeah.
Now I am hearing the voice of oh gosh, I'm having stream brain. The gentleman that does the Twilight Zone. It's simple. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Rod Sterling. Yes.
Yeah.
You've just entered the Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane in the midst of an escape. Therefore, you're in on the beginning of one of the strangest episodes in the annals of crime. In an episode of The Twilight Zone. Oops. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Who is this Latin gentleman here?
Just some guy. His name is Alvarez. Yeah, because you got Two-Face there.
Yeah.
And so he's just, I don't know if he was ever prevalent in the comics, but he's just some prisoner dude who's escaping. And he takes a pot shot at Joker saying that the Two-Face is a way better criminal than he is. And you know how narcissistic the Joker is, right? He's the ultimate, one of the ultimate ones. I met somebody who's worse, but
yeah,
the Joker's probably the top tier narcissist of all time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's up there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I don't know who this dude is, but he sure is.
His name is Alvarez. Yeah.
Senor Alvarez, yes. And I'm digging those pants, man. I'm liking that. 70s. Some 70s stuff rocking there. Everybody's rocking the bell bottoms. Even the prison uniforms have them, right? So Two-Face and Joker. Now, where Alvarez got those fancy duds for his prison getup, I'm not too sure. But he's rocking them, right?
It was a different era back then, right?
Disco. It was either disco or rock. Kiss or disco. Yeah. I'm assuming Kiss is early 70s, right? They've been around a long time. So
it gets weirder in this tale of the Joker's Double Jeopardy.
And stories by Denny O'Neil, which I seem to want to think that I know that name. And Dick Giordano. That one seems pretty much a little, I don't know Irv, but I think I've run across Dick Giordano maybe somewhere a long time ago.
And Julia Schwartz.
Yeah.
Is the editor.
That is. No more.
Well, his Schwartz is as big as mine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right into some action. But old Joker was like, "You're not gonna get me out of here." They're like, "Nope." They left him in there, man. And so we're like, wow, what's going on? So it hooked me, right? There's a prison escape, no origin story, and they're leaving Joker behind. So it's just a segue until you figure he's probably going to do something here, right?
Yeah. Oh, and hail to the great, the one and only, the Dad Man Walking, number 55.
Yeah, over here. Yeah, hey, Dad Man. What's up, man? And yeah, so I can't see the StreamYard chats. Normally I can kind of move over the screen, but I can't do it all the way we're doing this now. So
well, I'm asking you to like go nearsighted, then farsighted, nearsighted. You gotta have like 5 different prescriptions in your glasses here to look at all these screens. Let's see. So Two-Face escaped while we were gassed. Someone slipped into the ventilation system. Then they spirited Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face, out. And I'm pretty sure they already established who Two-Face was before this, right?
Well, that is Two-Face, but they didn't give his name, so they had to interject it in there. Harvey Dent. They wanted you to know.
It's helpful. I mean,
it's helpful. Yeah.
I know who they are. I don't know the history around when this issue came out. It's more of maybe a Mark or Steve Mitchum, Clobby, that kind of question, right? Maybe somebody in the chat knows, but if you didn't really know, you do now. So
exactly, it's a descriptive dialogue, is what I call it. Right? I don't know if that's the correct term. That's what I call it. And they're like, "Oh, Two-Face escaped again." And the lettering, it's large and readable, right?
Yes.
So it looks like there's a lot of talking going on, but there really isn't. Because they make it to the point, this is very easy to see. Right? I can clearly read this. It's no problem. So I'm like, I like it.
So then he said, Two-Face, the double-dealing dolt, is a greater criminal than I am. Absurd. I love how the guard ribs him right there. It's enough to make you cry, Joker.
Yeah, he's giving him some crap.
And then Joker here with his high IQ, that would be grotesque. Tears trickling down. The guard, like what? Like, I was quoting Rostan's Cyrano de Bergerac, you illiterate imbecile. So,
yeah, I like that. He was pretty
I'm
mean
hoping,
right
I'm hoping that I'm not alone by saying I never read that.
You never
I
read
at least
that?
know how it's pronounced, but I've never read that. So the Joker's already got one up on me.
I saw the Gerard Depardieu version of that. It was excellent.
Oh, okay.
Long time ago. The French in French, I think.
Well,
This is
that's why I
French.
had not as much interest as I may otherwise have.
Okay. Oh, no, you got to watch some of the old school, like the Three Musketeers in French, right?
Well, yeah, I'm more into freedom films than some of that other stuff. I was in high school in the 2000s, Dave. I ate a lot of freedom fries back in the day.
I was in high school in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Well, click on that.
Let's see here.
There we go. Okay.
So he's already saying I'm gonna bust out. I've already got a plan.
Yeah, he's already dropping hints. So of course we kind of know that, he's not going to be sitting in prison the whole issue, right?
Yep.
You just figure maybe they come back or somebody else does this, but you figure, yeah, he's going to come up with something. And he's just all mad because they insulted him and then left his ass to rot. Because it's like the criminal code there. Like you would expect maybe that Two-Face would let him out, but they don't always like each other, the bad guys, right? In fact, they hated each other sometimes, right? So they didn't give a damn about the criminal code for, society. It's weird how they do that, but
yeah.
Now I like this building here, this pane to the left, because it serves a purpose other than just art, and scenery.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all hanging out on, chill time, yard time, they call it, right?
Yeah. Well, so I've heard. I could not tell you.
It's called the yard. So, yeah, but it serves a purpose because Joker, apparently they give him a metal piece of equipment that does air, but they don't think it's anything bad because he's just blowing up balloons and he's playing around, and they're making fun of him again. They call him like a little kid, right?
I bet he's gonna shoot darts or some kind of crap at him.
You're close.
Yeah.
You just come up with something wild and you're close, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and then and to the left, you actually have guys working out here, right? There's a guy doing push-ups and oh gosh, I forget where you drop down to the leg lifts and kick back up, kickbacks or whatever. I should know this. I can't remember. I haven't done those in like probably 20 years. But jumping jacks or something. I can't remember that one.
You want me to do one of those? I'll do exactly one before I go to urgent care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing I love in this comic, and I know it'll sound completely weird, there's page numbers.
Yes, you notice the little page numbers in the corner?
Yes.
I'll show them when we.
Thank you, DC. Thank you. That way, when I put the book down without a bookmark, I know where I left off.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's your little number 2 inside of the window pane, inside the pane, the art.
Non-intrusive.
Yeah. And we get something we don't normally, or we haven't seen. 3 panes in a row, maybe in Black Panther we saw it once or twice, where there's just no dialogue at all. It's just all action, but nothing is said. And of course, the guard is just turned the opposite way of the yard, which would not be happening. I just saw that.
This is silly. I like it. I like it, but it's preposterous.
It gets better. I mean,
that hand pump must have been filled with helium. No, that's not how that works. But that is shocking. That is shocking. He's an easy target. Watch me pew pew him down. Really?
Yeah, well, he's escaping. It's the Joker.
They didn't play in the 70s, I guess.
No, they were gonna pump him full of lead.
I'm like, man. Now they'd let him get out and give him a week and a half before they bother coming around trying to find him, you know?
Well, this dude here, it actually give him a name, Austin. This Austin guard.
Yes.
Remember, he's not even facing the yard over here, so he's probably going to get written up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Pop. Hey, this ain't my gun. It's been switched.
Yeah. This is what I mean about how this is written. And you get the Joker. Now they use that. What did they use? What movie were they using that in?
The great part is you can see the stitching on that flag.
Yeah. There's a lot of little detail here in the artwork. Like the guy, the security guard's name, even a little bit of his collar ranking there. The face is pretty good, right?
Yes.
That even his hat is like really official. We don't get the crazy Fez hats that Wakanda security guard guys, which I loved, but still they were kind of crazy looking. It's hot shit. I wouldn't even be wearing hats out there unless block the sun, right?
Yeah.
And then they didn't even have visors. So what's the point? Just uniform, wear it. But they look official, right?
Yes.
A big ass badge on this guy's left arm there. So a lot of attention to detail, like the fence. But a lot of the stuff we didn't get last couple issues with the background, right? They did it here where the sky was blue. They chose the little yellow palette, but that was to make you look right at the Joker's face here. So it's pretty easy and explainable. They're like, oh, my gun's been switched, like you said, JT. And you're kind of like, oh, come on, man. But it's funny in a way. I mean, they pull it off so far anyway, right? It gets a little bit weirder later.
Yeah.
But the other guy's just kind of like, oh, well, he's just trickier than a whole circus. Ha ha ha. And he just gets away.
Sometime later in a street in suburban Gotham. Ah, honey, it must be an advertising stunt. Real dumb. No dumber than squeezing the tissue commercial.
Yeah, so JT, you probably don't know who that's from, right?
I don't.
I do. And I didn't have to look it up. And I'm sure our avid supporters know what that's referencing to. That's the Charmin commercial. Don't squeeze the Charmin.
Okay.
You can look it up and there'll be old videos, grainy old videos from the 70s, right? And somebody was talking about this the other night. Maybe it was on Mark's show Sunday night. We're talking about old commercials got brought up. Yeah, it was on Mark's Sunday Night Geekery. Starts about 10 Eastern, folks. And
I think I saw you on there recently. Maybe.
I was on
Where
there.
did I see you?
Yeah, it would have been me Sunday night.
Yeah. No, it was a wild show last weekend. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, the reference to where's the beef, JT. So that's from Wendy's. There was a little old lady. She was
I remember
famous.
that one.
All right, and then I did the one that was very obscure. Somebody got it because we're all old. We're all old on that show, right? Most of us. That I said, was it the Calgon? No, it wasn't the Calgon. Take Me Away. It was the laundry one. Oh, Ancient Chinese Secret. That was a laundry detergent commercial. And I can't remember the name of the laundry detergent, but I remember the one-liner.
Nice.
Maybe somebody in the chat can help me out. Well, hold on there, Gappy, because the Joker hasn't even begun to start getting verbose or witty.
I can always count on the obtuseness of the average citizen.
There you go.
Survey to me a newspaper letter. Oh, so that's what that's called.
Obtuseness.
I wondered what this folded paper was.
Yeah, so he's taking a shot at the general public because he's
joking,
a grand
folks.
old narcissist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a kid, I don't know if you were like 12 or 13, you probably don't know what obtusist is, and Gap nailed it in the chat. I had to go look. I warned you though, right? I warned everybody. The Joker, other than him doing that, this is a dirt for kids, this comic. But hey, you got to look up some words, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's also a PSA.
And good. The masked
conveniently,
manhunter won't be around to aggravate me. And he's looking at a picture of Batman in Paris at an Interpol convention.
Yeah. It's kind of referencing the fact that Batman's well known to the public here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to touch that. That's a whole nother discussion, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not too familiar on how DC treated him, because you have different universes with Batman. And what I mean is different writers, different artists, different themes, different, because we've seen that already, right? With BSG.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, I know very well that the Black Panther, the Jungle Action is completely written a lot different than Kirby. And then we saw it the last 3 or 4 issues, just completely different and off the rails on the one issue, right? So I'll skip. You can take that as you will, that they're taking pictures of Batman and he's all chummy with the press. I'll let that one slide because we're talking about the Joker.
Right.
But we kind of remember that. And you're like, oh, he's conveniently out of town, right?
Conveniently. Yeah.
Conveniently, yes. Well, it fits because he says so. It's like, cool. Old
Well,
boy's out of town.
but how long did it take the news to go over via telegram wire or whatever to
Who
get
knows?
to? Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
And the Joker's flying around town in this big ass balloon. They don't have cop radios, but it's okay. It's all good. It's fun. It's funny.
Sure. Well, they weren't used to drones back then, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So they weren't anticipating.
Yeah, definitely.
So shortly later, in a hideout of the Clown Prince of Crime, say that 10 times fast. Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Clown Prince of Crime.
He's actually
let's see.
thanking his henchmen here. I was like, oh, really? Actually, you're being nice to your henchmen. Henchmen are cool, right?
Yes.
For the most part. You got to love the henchmen. If you're a Venture Brothers fan, I love henchmen. 24! Anyway, sorry, that's from the show.
This is a wacky picture in the next one right below it.
Well, you didn't mention this guy's turtleneck, man. He's rocking
Yeah,
a
I
70s
thought it was a
turtleneck.
beard. I thought it was
No.
a beard.
No, he's rocking a turtleneck.
Oh, weird. Okay.
That's weird. But it's the 70s, man. You rocked a turtleneck back then. I thought you guys up where you're at wear turtlenecks, don't you?
Oh, hell no.
No?
Old church ladies wear turtlenecks.
Shit, if I lived where you did, I'd have a whole plethora of turtlenecks, man.
No.
Anybody.
No, the men don't wear those.
Yeah, well, you can freeze then. Turtlenecks, they keep you toasty, dude. I just wouldn't wear it out like in a normal day. But back then they did. Joker's face, it's pretty consistent, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this is a good
It
face.
is wild.
He's got the long elongated chin, right? Classic.
Mhm.
The dark green hair, bright but dark green hair. You know, it's good. The teeth, bright pearly white teeth, crazy eyes. He's got the long nose too, but
It's
you know
not
what
a
I mean?
scarred smiley face either.
No, he's
Like
actually
you'd see in The Dark Knight was very accentuated
right.
as a scar in a smile. Not here. Kind of cleaner, makes it look nicer, I think, actually. But now down to business.
It's
Specifically the business of proving that he's a finer felon than the second-rater Two-Face.
Yeah, he's taking a shot at old Harvey
he's
there.
Double up with the Spanish dude, Senior Alvarez. That seems kind of homo in 2025, but however they want to say it back in the 70s, okay.
Yeah, just calling it a team up, criminal team up.
Yeah.
But that's not anything Joker already knows this. great, but he's giving the henchman credit for helping out. And we get another good shot of Joker here. Close up. Not bad. Good. So they're talking about they found Alvarez and them. Did you catch that? They know where they're at. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, they rented this hotel and they've got guns at all the doors. And Joker is already creepy as hell.
He's giving him a PowerPoint here. PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, something.
And he's got his poker wand. He's got his wand right here.
You turn it around, it's like the Battle of the Bulge plans or something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's funny. They should probably sit around drinking and smoking cigars or something.
Already, this image and the words, it's just a bone-chilling laugh. Right?
Yeah.
Just the way I'm looking at it.
And we get a little bit of detail. There was a couple of frames there or panes that didn't have any in the background, right? Right after we talked about it being in detail, but this one does. Look at all that's like a whole bookcase. So it's kind of an odd choice, but look, they took the time to do it, right? Instead of just a plain ass background. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
No shrub for you, but no screen. So we've got to find something in the background that you like. Yeah. Make sure they have it. Anyway.
Well, I like how they do like Kirby did with the speech box, not the speech box, but the boxes, descriptive boxes.
Yes.
And instead of saying, meanwhile, he's so at a slightly seedy midtown hostelry. I was like, yeah, all right.
Hostelry? Hostelry? Midtown hostelry.
Yeah, it's basically a hostel.
A hostel, yes.
Yeah, obviously you know that. Right? Yeah, so
obviously
you got that one.
My pinky's raised. You can't see it, but it's raised. Anyway,
nice.
I just love this. I suggest you come to the point, Senior Alvarez. Why exactly did you spring me? And then I'm picturing this being acted by Sean Connery, even though he's not Spanish. To commit a robbery.
Yes.
Recently, a great treasure was transferred from my country to yours.
From Highlander.
I wish to recover it. That's the best I can do with Sean Connery.
Yes, Gap. A hostel would be yes. It's a group hotel. It's cheap hotels that you can go, especially across Europe. And they have them, and that's why they have them over in New York and all that, because they brought them over. It's just really cheap. Some can be okay. Some are slightly seedy. And if you watch that, really, if you don't like gory movies, do not watch the movie Hostel.
Right.
Especially the second one. It was even a little bit too much for me because it was just, a repeat. There was one good scene in there, but anyway, yeah, that's exactly what a hostel is.
Yes.
And they're famous for a lot of horror movies, not just the Hostel with Rodriguez. Is that his name? Rodriguez did that movie, whatever his name is. I can't remember.
Drawing a blank.
I think that's his name. But anyway,
you have to have Admiral Teague on for questions like that. He would know.
Yeah.
I'm not that much good of a sidekick for you here with those kind of questions, unfortunately. But hey, anyway, I think this plot is already interesting. I consider this a matter of national honor. Two-Face doesn't want to do it, but then he says it's a rare treasure.
Hold on, I was going to show you something here. Yeah, so the plot is interesting. It's definitely got your attention, right? Like, oh, where's this going? It's kind of cool so far. There's nothing bad about this except for some of the craziness when he escapes, but there's like a bowl of pears there. And so some of the detail artwork comes back, like the showing of the yard played into the fact that he got out. there's some other stuff going on here that I didn't even catch the first 2 times. I always catch little things here when we do the review. Yeah. Sorry. So then you get the big shot of the pairs. And they're kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
No problem. So he wants Two-Face to commit a robbery for 10 rare gold coins, doubloons, in fact.
Doubloons. Yeah.
10. Why
Arr.
these 10 doubloons with double faces? See, I need to just keep reading. Well, isn't that funny? Two-Face stealing 2 faces.
Well, get used to this because this is going to be the MO for the rest of the comic of making these kind of jokes, entendres, double
yes,
entendres, triple entendres.
Harvey Dent does look like Clint Eastwood from Profile. Buddy Hepburn, yes. If you go up a little bit, if you just go back up a little bit, you can see it.
Oh yeah,
he does.
Sure does. He does look like Clint. He's squinting, but yeah, it does look like him.
And in classic Harvey Dent Two-Face style, I'll let it decide whether or not to accept your proposition. The evil side wins. You have a deal.
Yeah, so normally he wouldn't have done this kind of a job, right? Which,
right?
I don't know. I mean, stealing gold doubloons, I didn't know that was below him, but they say it is. So okay, I guess it's just not his thing. But it doesn't matter if the coin says so.
This already looks like it's going to be shenanigans.
It is. There's lots of shit. I warned you. You just gotta go with it. But it's funny. They pull it off up until never mind.
Let's go.
I'll wait till we get to this one point. But other than that, they're like, so hey, who's at the door? I got some room service there. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just let it on in.
Yeah. Okay, wheel it in. That's what I'm here for.
But what I laughing at now is because I just realized something else, and maybe the chat caught on to this. Look at this middle pane, right?
Uh-huh.
First of all, it's room service. All right.
Yeah.
Then you look at this whole get up, and it's not what they're doing for the plot that I'm talking about. But aren't they at a seedy midtown hostelry?
Yes, they are. They are.
That
was not lost on me.
Like this, dude.
That's why I said, this already looks like shenanigans.
But it's a bigger shenanigans than I thought. That's funny to me now. Now, normally, I mean, I guess because of the other comics, we would have been hard on this, right? Like,
right.
Phrasing. Come on, JT.
All right. So
no. But now you see why I'm laughing. I didn't realize this earlier.
Yeah.
Because I was just laughing on the plot line, just in general. Oh, okay, these guys. Okay, whatever. It's funny. But now it's even more funnier because there's no way in hell you're getting room service like this at a seedy midtown hostelry.
Right.
But anyway, sorry. And I'm not even drinking coffee or anything tonight.
Oh, I am.
Oh, I thought about it. I thought
let's see. And
then I've been up till 7 a.m. every Thursday.
Oh, every Thursday.
Yeah, I was up till like 6 something last Thursday, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we get you to bed earlier tonight then. But let's see here. So we have Alvarez. I'm sure this food will be a great surprise. Now, right now, before you even scroll down, I knew crap was going to happen, right? Yeah. Okay, so this was the shock to me. I did not think Joker would fly out of the cake, so to speak. I thought he might have been the guy delivering, right? But
no, but you can tell that's Joker's henchman pushing the car.
Yeah.
That's one of his guys. That's the turtleneck guy, I think. Right?
Surprise, surprise, but you weren't expecting pie a la Joker.
It's great, dude. I mean, you can see what I mean about this is strictly for kids or adults who just love this stuff like us,
Yeah.
right? Look
It's lighthearted. I love this. It's not so pondering and dark like some of the Black Panther stuff that we've been reading. It's a nice for this week anyway. It's a great change of pace.
Yeah, and we made the comments like most of the Black Panthers were for more of a younger, an older teen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This one is easily 8, 9, 10, whatever, you know? And I like the artwork here with Two-Face. And we talked about this a lot in the past. Just subtleties in the artwork where his bad side, I guess. It's like, oh, his eyebrows, like all, and then they have these. All they did is put a bunch of little lines over his head to make him look like he's shocked, and it's effective, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
what is scary and creepy though? It's an acid pie.
Yeah.
Like you're laughing and you're like immediately in the same frame, like, oh, maybe I'm not going to laugh at that. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, so you go from it's for 8 or 9-year-olds, and then it's acid. Then you're okay. So yeah, Dave, you just said it's for 8 or 9-year-olds, but they're throwing acid. I said, well, I hadn't got to it yet. Right? Yeah. So before you read that it's acid, this is a great theme. And I like the artwork, man. Like Joker's hand here, it's proportional. It's 1, 2, it's got 5 fingers. Right? He's even got pinstripes on his, on his pants there. He's got pinstripes. Little detail stuff.
Depending on what acid they used, that's pretty damn dangerous because that's an aluminum pie tin and it could be corrosive, fairly corrosive, depending on which acid you picked right through that pie tin.
Well,
but I don't think they're worrying about that in this.
They're not worried about this. They're not worried about any of that shit. Yeah, it's more or less. I don't know if you would. So I went from saying, "Oh, this is great for kids," to thinking, "I don't know." that seems a little, but I don't know. I guess parents back in the day,
high school,
would read comics and stuff to make sure content. I don't know. My parents never did. They never looked at my comic books.
Mine didn't either. They just banned them outright.
Yeah. So Joker's just laughing at him because now you can really see his evil side here. Yeah, it is acid. I'll give you some more, chum.
Yeah.
Take that, eh?
Then the henchman is going to go after Two-Face, which isn't going to work.
But what else do you see here that you haven't seen yet? Other than the guards. It's semi-automatic. A regular old school.
That's
nothing fancy.
That's a 1911. It's a 1911.
1911. Yeah. But the guards had their probably, the 357 revolver or 22s, whatever they were using back then. I have no idea. And you get this guy here. But what did throw me off, I guess he had a couple of pies because he hits Alvarez and then he hits this guy. So I'm just assuming he had more than one pie. Although, did you see that? Did you catch that? The continuity error? Now, I'm not being picky, guys. It's right there. It's Alvarez with his left hand, but now it's a different guy in a blue suit with a gun.
Yeah, so blonde hair.
I'm just saying. It's just
no. The background is blonde. His hair itself is just black. That is
I'm talking about
Alvarez.
the guy he's hitting the pie with. It's a totally different dude.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah.
Well, he was on the other side.
No, it's with
the table.
Hand. Yeah, he catches a second dude. Yeah, he catches another guy.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mess me up that bad.
It doesn't mess me up. It doesn't mess you up that bad. We just assume it's 2 pies.
And so this guy says, "Don't bank on it."
Well, this guy, I'll scroll back.
Is that a pun?
Well, the henchman thinks he's just going to take on Two-Face and run right at him.
Well, we know that's not going to work.
Yeah, Two-Face isn't a chump. Two-Face was a tough dude.
Yeah.
Crazy as a lunatic, right? He jacks this guy with a good T'Challa hook uppercut.
Yeah.
Crushes this guy.
Yep.
Crack. And I love the hands, right?
I was going to say that is a very well done drawn hand and face, by the way.
Yeah, they're very consistent with the art.
Yep.
For the most part, there's always, how there's always going to be something somewhere. Who cares? When the art's good, 99% of the time, who cares about one or two things, right?
Yes.
But now Joker and Two-Face are facing off again. And Joker whips it out, the double barrel pistol, which that is a thing, right? That was something real. But who cares? It's Joker. He can do it. He can do that. Right?
Yeah. So he's played this scene before with the Joker. Before Joker. Me too. With the Batman. But now it's you and I have a pistol and a double-barreled one. This is a gimmick you should have thought of.
Yeah, he's making fun of him because he doesn't have a gun.
And it's a double-barreled.
Yeah.
Because Two-Face. It's
the
another
10-shotter.
double joke. It's the double joke.
Yep. You're catching on, right?
I don't need him. And so he throws the pears at the Joker.
Well, see, it's really a deep cut on him because he's making fun of his Two-Face.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's really a deep cut. It's a deep shot, man. It's
I don't know how deep it is, but at least they thought to put it in.
If you were Two-Face, you'd be pissed because he's making fun of your face.
Right.
But the Two-Face also does everything in twos. So you've caught on to that, right?
Yep.
They let us know over and over. So he throws the bowl of pears at him, and here's some pretty good art, man. Clunk. Catches him right in the chin. Knocks him
Yeah,
off
but
his
I don't
feet.
want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to make it to the end of this comic.
Oh, come on. All right. All right.
Oh, let's see.
There.
Within moments, this is another one right here. Here we go. He escaped, Joker, through them double doors. Actually,
you beat me.
There we go. I have a soundboard for that. I don't need to make my own.
Yeah, you have a
Oh,
soundboard.
jeez. Our jokes, Dave. It's just all crickets.
Nice. I wouldn't even be able to do that. I'd have to X out of this whole thing just to play my board because I don't have that.
Okay, so anyway, funny, I never figured he'd do anything as ordinary as clunk you with a plain bowl.
Yeah, keep going.
Now,
Go on.
a plain bowl, Whitling, a bowl of pears, as in pears. Oh, pears, as in twos.
Oh. Yeah, that's just for everybody who hasn't caught on to it yet. Now they're just straight up telling you, this is what we're doing.
Oh, here we go. Next page. We better scrim. I wouldn't put it past that double dealer to sick the cops on us.
Yeah.
True, if his coin landed good side up, but we overheard him decide to purloin those doubloons.
Well, you notice they put the balloons.
Yes.
They highlighted it.
Yes.
The balloons.
But they already did that joke once. So.
Yeah. They're right. Cap. Your chat's great, man. Love him.
So
yeah, Joker's kind of like, we got to hightail it out of here. The cops are on the way, but I have to go stop the guy. So back to the hideaway.
No, not yet.
But I thought,
oh yeah, a few preparations, and I'll be ready to put egg all over both sides of his face.
Yeah. He doesn't, he's relentless, man. He's relentless. He got some blue eyes there, right? I didn't notice that too,
Yes.
right there in the middle.
Yes.
Just looking at the artwork.
And they don't have that
noticing
many
things.
colors, right? So they have to be careful which ones they pick and choose. And man, that blue really does stand out there.
Yeah. It looks good with his with everything else. So they're running away through some back alley, going to the hideaway. I was a little confused there, but
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Well, I didn't know. I thought they were at the hideaway, but they were just at some.
They were trying to scram. See,
they call that a mattress place. Did you know that? So when all the gang types, mafia types, and all that kind of stuff in these cities, we've got to go to the mattresses. They would say.
Okay.
You would have several of these places all through town and some out of town if you really had to get out of town, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said it again.
So later that same evening, the Joker takes it upon himself to do a little B&E under the museum before Two-Face. Tomorrow is the second day of the month. Therefore, he'll make his move mañana, which is Spanish for in the morning, right?
Tomorrow morning. So he's just referencing again and again and again that Two-Face's MO always works in pairs, and he would only rob a place on the second day of the month. Although it
Why not
matter.
the 22nd day of the month?
Could be. Or the 11th.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Good point.
But old Joker here is kind of staking the place out, and he didn't even bring a lunch. You know, he's hiding out. I wasn't sure if this was the basement, because this actually comes into play where he is.
Yeah.
Or the attic.
Oh, it's the basement. He's going through one of those windows that definitely 100% would have been locked if even openable in New York City.
Well, at the museum with all the stuff there. Yeah, right.
Well, even more so. Yeah. But hey,
he'll just break in anyway. I love those pinstripes, dude. Those pinstripe pants. I don't have to get that suit. Styling and profiling. Woo! Rolex wear it.
All right, so this basement will serve as a satisfactory place to lurk. Thought I heard something.
And there you go. He just
heard me. Nice.
Oh, that's right. He gets jumped.
Yeah, right away. Right away, too.
Immediately. He gets jumped and socked.
Yeah. So I don't have to look at your expression of pain as I give you the old one. One of these days, Joker. Right to the moon.
We don't get a descriptive pow, bang, ka-pow. I'm a little disappointed.
Well, it gives him two. Yeah, that is a little disappointing. Gives him two.
But
one with his human hand and the other with the second face hand.
Well, we get the swishes that I liked with Kirby and Black Panther. It's action swishes. Like when he puts the coat over his head, hockey.
It's on the back of the head, too.
And just, donkey punches him. Boink. Gives him an old 1-2, like you said. Right to the back of the head. Knocks his ass out cold. Well, no, actually he didn't. Did he knock him out? Oh, no, I guess not.
He knocked him out. Sometime later,
that's
are
right.
you awake?
Yeah,
did you really think you could outsmart me? And he's saying, I would have if you hadn't got here first. You violated your MO. Nonsense. I planned this for 2 a.m. And so it is.
See, that's how he got the Joker. It wasn't the date. It was the time. Maybe the date as well. Probably. Right?
Yep. Oh, hey, Lady V.
Hey, Lady V, how's it going? Good to
We're getting a
see
group
you.
here. Good to see you. All right. So, Lady V, we are doing The Joker from the 70s. This is number 1. So, we are currently following The Joker in a disagreement, a gentleman's quarrel with Two-Face, also known as Harvey Dent. So, I am waiting for Two-Face to talk about how he's going to steal all the gold in Fort Knox. Aren't you?
Yeah, well, it's not there, right? I mean,
Goldfinger reference, folks, if you had never seen the movie.
yeah, so
No, Mr. Joker. I expect you to die.
Yeah. Well, there's a sub basement, a second basement where all these tools are, including a saw board the size of industrial strength.
His museums would have this for sure.
Enough to work at a sawmill. Pardon the pun, but actually I meant that legitimately. It's huge. So it's not just it's just this huge buzzsaw just laying around. But hey, we go with it.
So Dave, he's gonna make Joker 2 of a kind.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got him strapped into this board, kind of like Ice Pirates.
Okay, so he's going to flip the coin again. That's Two-Face's luck, right? His whole thing about luck or fate. The coin will decide your fate.
When it comes to somebody being deleted type of thing, yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, he used it to take the job. That's his psychosis there. If he can't decide on anything, that he uses the coin. But he also does it to mess with people's heads when they're in a bad spot, like Joker is, right? So, I said it again. You got me, Gat. Drink up.
Lady V, if you really need bad puns and bad jokes, go back to where we started reading, and by page 4, they started laying on these jokes pretty thick and heavy.
Well, the double mint gum ones, right?
Yeah.
Drink up. Now I'm going to do it on purpose so you can get tanked.
Lady V, kick back, relax. We're glad to see you here.
Well, Joker accuses him of cheating.
Your luck has deserted you, Joker. You lose. Isn't that a laugh? You're cheating. You always use a pair of something in your jobs. Where's the double in this setup? He had to ask.
That's it.
Yeah.
He does say it. Two-Face does say it, but not when I thought he was going to say it, or would have been funnier, I thought. But I'm not the writer, because this is a pretty good scene. Well, they're just commentating to each other. Where I mentioned earlier, some of the villains, they don't like each other, and he's going to delete them.
Yep.
In a pretty horrible, gruesome way. I mean, really gruesome way.
And I anticipated the joke, unfortunately. He will bisect you. Yeah. When it reaches the chin, you'll be a Two-Face like me.
But this gag went out with silent films. He's taking Joker's he's taking shots at him. It's really good writing here. They're deep cuts. Pardon the pun. No?
Yeah.
Tough room.
They're up there. I like them.
Cuts. That was a good joke, man.
I like them. I was looking at slightly lower than where you are right now.
Oh, I'm at the top pane here.
Yeah.
So Joker goes at him, makes a joke, cuts into him. Pardon the pun. And then I was waiting for them to use this word. He does, but I thought he was going to use it here when he's leaving out. And it does look like Clint Eastwood there a little bit. Young, very young.
Yeah.
Eastwood. that part of me wanted to spare you, but once the coin decides it's final, and I thought he would say, "Got to split, man." But he says it over here. Now you go ahead and laugh, Joker. Laugh till you split. So they did say split. But I thought,
and I love Joker's reply. I get with the gags, Mr. Straight Man. Still, I can't help laughing at that joke, even though it's on me.
You know, he's a psycho. So
Yeah.
He's laughing, even though he's in this predicament, because he's like that. And he'll say anything to get back at him. But he's got to trick up his sleeve, so to speak.
Batman taught him to always be prepared.
Yeah.
Or was that the Boy Scouts? I was like, wait, the Batman's a Boy Scout?
Probably. Well,
would have been. Next, or was that the Boy Scouts? Never mind. I'm prepared.
Yeah. And you kind of wonder if you know the Joker. He's got something in that flower. You knew that, right, JT?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So it's just more acid.
That's going to be some damn strong acid to eat through rope in the time this is going to take.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good aim, too.
I hope he's wearing like a rubber jacket.
Well, we'll get to that here in a minute.
Yes, Gap, take another. Take
a drink. The saw's getting a little bit close here, don't you think?
Yeah, just a bit.
Just in the nick of time, he gets out. Yay! Our boy isn't going to buy it just yet. Obviously, it's issue number 1. Right?
Yes.
Drink, Gap.
Really shouldn't use those old saws under the circumstances.
Well, but it was a sub basement, and they have those.
Yeah. And that is truly a bad pun, a hideous jest. Almost as hideous as what I'll do to that double-countenanced madman. Okay.
Referencing his face again. He's just making fun of how he looks. Like he should be doing that. Joker, the way he looks. But look who we get.
Oh,
who makes an appearance.
The commissioner himself.
Yeah. Ah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. He's there. You're like, oh, okay. He looks good.
Kemp is there too. Realize that the balloon's great worth, and we've taken every precaution by putting just a really boring placard on this called Spanish doubloons.
Right. That's all it says. Spanish doubloon.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the big main setup there.
Next to the Batman, these cops are his best.
I don't know about that.
In addition, it's wired with a 1970s alarm.
Well, I'm looking at there's 4 cops standing right there.
Yeah.
1 on each side.
Yeah. And they're totally going to be able to stop whatever comes at them by standing exactly how they are, right? No.
Well, of course, we know that that's not going to stop anybody, but we're just trying to figure out how it's going to happen. And you figure it's going to be some insane thing. But in the middle pane, you get some artwork back there.
Yeah, of all things.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. And look
this
at the
is
frame.
Pretty hokey. I laugh. Frame. This is like funny. It's kind of bad, but it's funny bad. Like this alarm in this lame case. Okay. It automatically closes the exits and brings an additional squad of men surrounding the building. What are they doing with these guys all day? Like 24/7, you just staff them with your top guys just to guard some doubloons?
And there's no regular security that there would have been there to begin with. They have a whole force there contracted out. I know that's probably what it would have been happened, right? Drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say take another one. Suddenly the lights, they've gone out.
Well, it's because the cop says it's a commissioner. That's why I was talking about the security forces, right, Commissioner?
It's
So now you
it's
have
written in there.
You have to
You can-
double drink because it's in the comic. And then you have to drink again because I said double.
I'm
Gordon.
afraid. Don't
Gordon.
be, man. The doors are sealed. Even if it is a robbery attempt, it's bound to fail. Yeah, right. Okay. We believe that. A minute ticks by, and 2.
This guy's like, he's so scared. I don't know. He's like some horrible monsters are going to show up or something, right? He's like scared to the point. I'm so scared.
Right.
Oh,
This
what's up, dude? Calm down, man.
And after a couple minutes, the lights come on. And everyone thinks the coins are untouched. Without scrolling down, my guess is...
Say that again. Say it again. Because they say it here.
Without scrolling down, I'm pretty sure either from above or below, somebody pulled the old switcheroo, and these are just regular doubloons with the face side up.
Well, one of my theories was partially correct, and I can't say it now because I know the ending of the comic.
Okay.
And that I was partially correct. Just kind of clip that I said it here. And then I'll tell you, you'll just have to believe me. You said above or below?
Above or below, yeah.
But I don't think they treat
I've
Gordon
just seen
like
enough cartoons where I feel like that's how the cartoon villain would do that, right? Like he'd lower in or he'd drill a circle, with a saw and like do something funny that way.
Gap says he's passing out. Well, they treat Gordon like he's a real dumbass here. Gordon's a little smarter than this, but you have to because you just have to have a comic. He can't be as smart as Batman here, or we just did that. You know what I mean? This whole plot line doesn't exist. It just ends here. Now, JT, look. Wait a second. What happened here? How did Two-Face get a whole box of coins?
Uh-huh. So it is partially what I thought.
Well,
they replaced it like an Indiana Jones thing.
You got it right. From above. Yeah, from above.
Now I was not thinking magnet.
Yeah, but you guessed it. He stole them from above because in the dark nobody could hear it moving or seeing and anything like that. And in the boxes here, he explains he shorted out the lights. Yeah, we got it. The Alvarez gave him a tip about the attic or something like that.
Yeah.
And he just used the magnet to pull the case up, which is kind of
so. How did he get it off the magnet when you put it back down?
I just assume he probably has a demagnetizer or something on the other end when he gets it back down there.
Okay.
Because I can't say why my theory was partially correct. You got it right. Yes. Isn't it interesting though that there's no top to the case?
You would think. You would think.
But then you couldn't do this plot line.
Right.
You couldn't right. You couldn't write
there you go. Story. There you go, Gap. 2 more.
No, I didn't do it.
That is true. I could say right as many times as I need.
I didn't do it that time.
So
so
he's just going to simply sit around and they're not going to search this museum. They're all just going to go home.
He didn't bring a bag lunch.
He's just going to wait there.
Yeah. but he's not
I don't think
hiding.
that's
He's
how
just
this is
he's
going to
just
work.
sitting in the attic.
I
He's
don't
not
think
like,
that's how that works.
yeah, he's just sitting there. Well, being a security type of guy, I was kind of like, oh, come on. That's even getting to be a little bit too much. Like, wouldn't they search the building?
Well, they knew something was up. They didn't know that it was swapped. But if the power goes out for a couple minutes in that room,
well, the whole premise is the fact they don't even know that they're gone. See, JT? He's playing, he called them dummies because they're all dummies down there. Even Commissioner Gordon's an idiot. So they don't even know that it's gone. So there's no alarm for them to be running around trying to find anybody. So he's playing it cool the way he planned, like the way he planned it. Because they don't even know. But guess who shows up?
The Joker.
Yay! Old boy's back.
He's planning a fun evening with Two-Face.
Yeah, I guess he just took the elevator dressed up like that right through the whole building, get to the top floor. Maybe he just took the stairs because apparently they don't search this. They don't walk around this building at all.
No, they don't.
Except the
they
floor.
don't. They don't.
I like it. He says, it's a pretty good threat here. I'm planning a fun evening with you. Oh, man. Oh, dude. Yeah. That's pretty brutal, right?
Yes.
That's a good threat.
Now, the last bit in this page here. I outguessed you, buddy boy. Here we go. It's a double joke in one sentence. I deduced you'd commit your robbery from the second floor.
Deduced. Right. 2 in 1 line. 2 lines there.
Oh. That was clever. That was clever of the Joker.
The Joker said it. Well, old boy here, he does something pretty wild. Two-Face. I didn't expect that. He loves to throw stuff at people, apparently.
Oh.
I mean, he'll throw down, I guess, if you get too close. But I guess his first move is to just throw something. And he throws the
display case.
That wouldn't be the first thing I threw at anybody.
No.
Is the one thing you're trying to steal.
Right. But okay. The wall's right there, I suppose.
I guess. I mean, it's a heavy object. I guess if it worked, you just pick up the balloons and run out, right? Just put them in your pocket.
Yes. So he said, you bowled me over once at the hotel. Surely you can't expect the pernicious ploy to succeed twice.
I like how he said bold there, right?
No, I'm wrong. You would try a second time.
All right. Then it gets weird. Two-Face is getting tired of his jokes. I'll fight, but I'm tired of your idiotic cracks. What? You're still hostile? Well, yeah. Yeah, I am. I got to tear out my own hair. Oh, boy.
Yeah, and throw it at you. False hair, my eyes stinging. Yeah, I don't know what false hair is. Did he use like Rogaine or something? I'm trying to figure out why his eyes are burning. Maybe he didn't wash out the shampoo out of his hair.
It's laced with something.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah, it's laced with the acid or something. But he just starts slapping them around like a. I laughed when I saw that. So I was like, "What?" He's just like open palms.
I won't be beaten by a clown. I'm like, well,
literally being beaten
and by a clown. Yeah.
So another double one.
The Batman is my equal, but you're a buffoon, and I'll break you.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude. That's pretty narcissistic as well, there, right? To think that drink. Batman is your
and
equal.
Then the Joker is upset because Two-Face grabbed his lapels on his jacket. A little bit of an odd thing to kind of lose your cool over. But hey.
Oh, get ready, JT, because I thought he was going to do a judo move. You know, the Joker in some of the comics, he could fight. You know, Batman usually beats the shit out of him, but he could throw down every now and then. Just depends on, you know, again, timelines, who's writing it. But this is what happens.
He gets his hand stuck on the coat because the Joker smeared the coat with a powerful stickum. Okay.
Like, what?
A stickum?
Oh, come on now. This is the part I was telling you
And
about
immediately acting glue.
Yeah. Right. Now, for you NFL fans, do you know what stickum is?
Stuff you put on your gloves, right? And then that helps the ball stay in your hands more
They
easily.
used it so much that the receivers would just be dipping it into, like, it would just be dripping off their hands. And so the NFL just said, okay, we have to ban it.
Look, enough is enough.
There's an old picture of one guy. It was just, he had like a bucket of it, and it was just goops of it coming off his hand. And then right after
I couldn't get the ball away after that.
Well, it was just nasty. It was all over the ball. It was all over the place. And apparently, I don't know what the time frame for stickum was back then. Maybe then mid 70s, definitely 80s stickum. I don't know. I didn't look it up. Any of you football fanatics out there can tell me when they banned stickum, that would be cool. But yeah, this is the one part I went, oh, come on.
I'm still riding with this.
The whole stickum. Why didn't he just kick him in the cojones? We could have got a good nut shot. We still haven't got one yet, right?
Well,
drink. I meant that one.
And you're stuck on the wall like flypaper. You can't object to being swatted. You can't do this to me. I'm the top criminal, second to none.
What is
driven by desperation? Two-Face lunges backward, taking his jeering opponent with him.
Yeah, right above that though, he's double fisting like he's hammer fisting him.
Right.
Phrasing.
There is a crash of skulls hitting the floor.
Well, there's your judo flip.
Yes.
Except, like you said here, they knocked each other out. You don't get any background art here on this.
No, you don't. You
that
don't.
Was kind of. That's when I really noticed. Like, oh, come on! I just gave him credit for some of the stuff. He turned around and burned me on that. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So this was kind of funny. I thought it was great. They knocked each other out, and then
guess the here. Final page.
Guess who finally shows up?
Is it Officer Austin?
No, that's the jailie.
Next day, as guards routinely check the area.
Really?
Well, a couple of Arkham alumni ready for a ride back to the Laughing Academy. On your feet, kiddos.
Well,
you're heading home.
I like the joke, Arkham alumni. That's kind of funny, isn't it? It's a good writing, Arkham alumni.
Yes.
But look at the detail on the bottom of this guy's shoe, Two-Face's shoe. They have the nails and everything in there, old school style. It's pretty cool detail. You ever seen that before, JT, on old shoes?
No.
Yeah.
Can't say that I have.
Old school. It's old school right there, man. Where they tacked in the shoe. Tack. I mean the sole.
Yes.
On your feet, kiddos. Well, I'm like, wait, Joker, aren't you going to switch his gun out again? It didn't happen. So,
I want to know how the stickum was dissolved. What happened to the stickum?
Time sensitive. It's time sensitive.
Oh, okay. It dried out or something.
Dried out. Yeah. And of course, the coins are just laying there. Two-Face is like, no.
Yeah, I haven't hide these things out with a pack of gum wrappers. They're counterfeit.
Yeah, they're counterfeit to begin with. So I was partially correct. What I was going with earlier was that they're fake to begin with. And then Batman was going to show up. But that didn't happen. So I was partially correct. They are fake.
And Buddy kind of called it. He said gold foil wrapped chocolate candy doubloons.
Oh, nice. I love those things. Came in the little net.
Yeah.
You know those, right?
I'm aware.
Right. You can get those in some stores still. Back in Alexandria, they had a store that had a whole aisle of nothing.
I'm
but
sure
old
like
school retro
Party
stuff.
City or something has them too.
Oh, this place was like in depth, man. They had 100 different old retro stuff. Boston baked beans, the Army Men that we had in the comic book ads, the chocolate dollars, just everything you could think of, they had there. So the officer explains to these guys that Senor Alvarez had swiped the balloons before they even left his country. Interesting. Huh, JT? Interesting plot development on how they were faked, how they became to be fake, that it was all a setup.
That is clever.
Very clever. The whole thing on Alvarez was a setup for Two-Face to begin with, or anybody. He just happened to pick Two-Face.
And he wanted them to capture the counterfeits to throw the trail off of Alvarez so Alvarez could get away scot-free, and these two would be on the hook for it.
They would be on the hook for fake. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they weren't supposed to know all this.
They weren't supposed
the
to know it
Batman
anyway.
found this out.
There you go. The Batman found it. So I was kind of quick. So there was no reason for Batman to even show up other than to try to bust him for stealing fake coins. So
Yeah.
he didn't even. So that's why Batman wasn't there to begin with, because he was at the Interpol convention.
Yeah.
But he didn't need to be there anyway, because now we found out he knew that they were fake to begin with. So it could have been like Batman was be sitting in his apartment laughing when he gets the news, when he reads about how they got busted. That would have been funny, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it would have been funny. Because you just imagine this little pay with him, Batman just kicking back, reading the newspaper. He starts laughing.
I love this final little bit here. Why aren't you laughing, Two-Face? Don't you realize you, the supreme double dealer, have been double crossed?
Yeah, thank you. But they did mention that Alvarez was recovering in the hospital. So we get an update. That's kind of cool from Officer So-and-so with badge number 15 on his head.
Very cool. And that is the end of issue number 1.
Yeah. Now I got to get out of my page here. How do I do that? There we go. Boink.
So
I almost X'd out of StreamYard. I got to be careful of that.
I would have been here for a minute by myself.
Yeah, the X is
selling my new line of vitamins and workout supplements.
Nice.
I'm just kidding.
Selling your used chichias that you got at the local sale at the at the storage unit facility that you paid $500 for, and there's like 85 cents worth of shit in there.
Worse than that, because it's going to cost you more for a throwaway dumpster to get rid of all the garbage out of it. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this. I thought about doing this because a couple of years ago, one of my other cousins down here was talking about those storage units. And he thought of me because this guy opened up a storage unit, right? A big one, a fairly big one. It was huge. It was effing full of nothing but stuff from a comic book shop. Dude, can you freaking imagine?
I don't know the condition, though. They could all been.
Oh no, they were
toast.
all nice and lined up. Like the guy moved all his stuff into this storage unit, planned on coming back, never came back, never paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed me the picture. I said, "You get that." And he showed me a picture of some guy who had posted it. Look what, and legally, I think there's a time frame or something in some states that say even though you bought it, because I didn't actually ever do it. I thought about doing it once just for fun. I want to go to one of these screw around bid on something. But yeah, it had all, because I remember it had a couple Spawn action figures in there, just tons of comic books, all kinds of stuff. Just, man, there's a bunch of football memorabilia. It was like, wow, jackpot. And you just never know what you'll see is if there's a safe, people really try to spend a lot of money. And they're like, they probably took everything out of the damn safe when they left.
Right.
I would think so. Drink, but
The
you just never know. You never know. You open it up and there's a Superman #1 in there,
or a bunch of used diapers,
or a severed head. You know,
something that gets the whole kit and caboodle thrown in an evidence locker.
Wasn't that in Silence of the Lambs or one of those serial killers?
I can't remember.
They go to the locker rooms. You don't like those movies? You didn't watch
Silence of the Lambs? Can't remember. It's been over a decade since I've seen them.
Silence of the Lambs is good. I watched it, and it reminded me of this comic when they said Manhunter or whatever. I think that's what they said in this. Do you guys remember that when they did Red Dragon, that was based on another movie, and I can't think of that guy's name, the actor's name. There's two or three of them in there. The guy even played Hannibal. Can't remember any of them, but it's called Manhunter.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. It's good, man. You should go watch that. It's very, very good. And I can't think of any of those dudes' names. Not even Hannibal. I've got all their picture. Will something. I think that might have been his actual character name, but that's for Red Dragon is kind of the same movie. And then Silence of the Lambs came after that. But Manhunter is an excellent movie. Anywho, so what did you think, JT?
Oh, wow. So first of all, I'm glad we decided on this one, Dave. Yes. This was quite an issue #1. And I don't know how the rest of this is going to end up all the way to the end of the run, right? I think there's 15 or 16 of these?
6.
There's only 6?
I think there's only 6, right?
No, there's more than 6.
No,
there's more than 6.
I was asking a question. So that's
there's more than 6. The
are you sure?
Yes. Positive.
I'm going to look it up. Buddy,
positive.
Buddy, FKC.
There's more than 6.
I'm going to challenge you on this one. I'm going to look it up.
I believe there's 10. Anyway,
15 to 10.
It's not the longest. It's not the longest run, but I think this is just really cool the way that it starts out. I love that it doesn't take itself too seriously, but yet there's effort put in.
That's for sure.
There's definitely effort put in. And you know what we can't stand on this show after looking at these 3 other series before this one is when you do something really well, but then you just don't put forth effort. It really bugs both of us. It just gets under our skin, and we cannot let it go. So I really hope that they keep this level of quality up. It is, I think, maybe a little bit of a big ask. However, from the artwork to the puns to the good to great use of pacing for the visual art, so there's no wasted frames. There's no 3 pages of one punch per page kind of nonsense that you can see sometimes.
There's no dragged out pains that I know really gets under your skin.
Yes.
It does me too, but I know that's one of the things I'll notice. Like, uh-oh.
Mhm.
He's
I
gonna
will
something
say,
about this.
though, some of the weaknesses, I'll say, you did point to the lack of maybe apparent continuity with who is punching whom in the hotel thing
Oh
that
yeah,
they
I
were
already
in.
forgot about this
That
already.
there you did have a point to that, but I felt like it didn't really hurt necessarily all that much.
No, not
And
at all.
then some of this stuff, like the backgrounds, are a little plain. They can be a little plain. And some of that may be just that they spent so much time on the art in the foreground. The very last two little sections here of the final page looks like they spent a lot of time on the face of that police officer, and then a lot of time on Two-Face and Joker. Now, both of them just have solid color backgrounds, but they don't need anything behind them, right? And so they didn't put anything there. I wasn't
I didn't.
overly impressed by Two-Face's plan, but it was fine. I mean, this is not a serious Mission Impossible style type caper, right? These are bumbling madmen
for kids
in a
type
comic
stuff.
book.
Just
Yeah,
roll.
I don't know if this is really for kids. The jury's still out on that. We'll see.
The acid thing is a little rough. You have guns, so teenagers. The
Yeah,
acid thing, though, I don't know. It seemed like that one got through. The acid to the face, and I'm not being old man harpy. Oh my god, no, we're just talking. I don't know if that would have gotten through an editor to say, let's not we'll do the rope one, but not in the face. Because it seemed like later on they had to put in the part, well, oh well, Alvarez is in a hospital recovering, so he'll be okay.
yeah,
Really? Is he
because
really gonna be
I
okay? He
I
put the whole
think
acid pie to the face.
there is sometimes maybe going overboard on a correction where you don't want flames on your Fantastic Four character because you think kids will try to light themselves on fire. I don't necessarily believe that one. This one, I think kids might try to play make believe and find an acid somehow. I don't know. That's a stretch. If your kid's smart enough to find something that's a strong acid, they
Then they
probably also know not to throw it
Yeah,
at
probably shouldn't have
somebody.
been there in the first place. If your kids have any
Yeah,
access to acid in the first
but
place, right?
it's still
And they shouldn't.
shocking and it's still gruesome and grotesque. I I have real hard time just saying any 10-year-old could read that. You know, any 12-year-old could read that. I don't know what age is the right age, but it's definitely, I don't think you need to be 18 to read that either, but it's something that I don't think an editor would have let that fly today.
You
The
don't
flower
think,
on the rope, sure.
oh yeah,
The
that's classic Joker. That's
the pie, they would have said change it to something else,
or just don't
right?
put that paint in there.
Yeah,
Just have them fist fight.
like have it be like poison rainforest frog
You just jump out
stuff, and have it like tranquilize them immediately or something, right? Something, or have like a net gun or something when you jump out and you shoot nets on people. There's other cheesy things they could have done.
My comic shop is saying that this is a 9-issue run, but I guess we'll figure it out when we get there.
Okay. I could have
You
sworn
have
there
to
was
look it
10.
up. It's weird because I have to look when I go to mycomicshop.com.
Yeah.
They're reputable. Nick and Clavi, and they've been talking about them. And I was like, oh my God, I actually ordered from them before. They're pretty reputable with that one website.
They
that I
might
showed
only have
somebody.
9 of the 10.
But they said it was final issue number 9. I mean, I'm not harping on it. I looked it up.
We'll have to look.
Because you have to type in, if you type in the Joker, then you put the date because there's a million Joker comics, right?
Yes.
Batman, just a million.
Yes.
You have to actually type it in the search bar, Joker. Don't put in the, and it comes right up. If you just type Joker, It's a little
Mhm.
odd with that search because the comic is called The Joker, but they have it listed as just Joker 1975. Anyway, if you just wanted to go to mycomicshop.com, it's called something else. They're out of Texas. Their main store is called. Is it actually might be Texas something? Yeah. Mark and Nick will know. Cloudy used to order from them as well. He's the one that got Raquel to order stuff from them as well. The Star Trek. When you guys did you guys do the comics on Star Trek on Saturday?
We did on Thursdays. Yeah. We were doing Star Trek on Thursdays.
The one of the series, not the original.
No, we didn't do Gold
not
Key.
The Gold Key.
He might have shown a couple Gold Key. In fact, I'm pretty sure he did over the years, but nothing.
Was it called Star Trek Voyages or Star Trek Adventures? So. Something like that.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the art.
But they were pretty good. It was pretty good. I missed that show. I miss Cocker things. And to RIP to Mr. Went as well. JT, I grew up on that show. Cheers. He passed away. Norm. Did you ever watch that show?
No. It was before my time.
Yeah, it's just a local little bar in Boston. A great cast of characters. When it first started, they had a Ted Danson is the head owner, bartender. They had an old guy called Coach. And then, oh man, I am just brain dead with the names. Who's the guy that replaced Coach in Cheers, everybody? The famous actor. He's in Zombieland. He's in just tons of different movies. Damn. I'm going to have to look this one up unless somebody can beat me to it. The bartender from Cheers, Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson replaced Coach. And it was Kirstie Alley, RIP to her as well. But he would walk in, JT, to the bar, and everybody would go, Norm! It was great. It was a good show. But yeah, those commercials. Maybe we should do a show on all those crazy ass commercials back in the day. Like, Calgon, take me away. You don't know that one either.
You'd have to find them and show them in Cosme if you want people to.
Well, they're defunct.
Live the full experience. Yeah.
Unless somebody owns them, it's only a 2-second thing. Wow, Wendy's, you might have to watch out for. They even made T-shirts of that old lady, dude. Where's the beef? You ever heard of Where's the Beef?
Oh yeah, I have.
Okay, yeah, you did.
I have.
That.
Yeah.
Sorry. That one is timeless, right? But do you know this one? Time to make the donuts.
I've heard the reference.
Why is my YouTube screen? Everybody, is my YouTube? What's going on with my YouTube side? It's all
YouTube side. I can see it just fine.
Oh, okay.
Just the two of us.
It's not playing. I got to catch up to everybody here.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
It's all good.
So there was
all good.
There was the Doublemint twins. Do you know them?
No.
The two girls for Doublemint gum. They were twins. Double. I made my double joke. See how I put that? See how I did that? No.
Okay. If you say so, I have not heard of them.
I made a double joke for tonight's theme. It's double.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the Doublemint twins. They were real.
Tim says that he's been to the real Cheers in Boston and been to the Cheers set in LA when it was at a museum there, and sat in Norm's bar stool. Very cool.
Oh wow! I bet they're having they'll do something for him there if it's still there. I don't know if it's still there. My baloney has a first name. It's Oscar. No, JT?
No.
My baloney has a second name. It's Mayer.
No, I don't think I'm the right guy to watch the old commercials with, because I'm not going to know any of them.
I'm going to write this down, dude. I might forget that one. Bologna commercial. Dude, I might have to do a show. That's Oscar Mayer
You're
Wiener.
gonna have to do it with Dad, man, because I'm not gonna know any of these.
I know, that's why you have to be there. Yes, Lady V. I'm singing the I'd like to buy the what's the Coke one? The Coca Classic. I'd like to buy
the world of Coke.
and like
Yep.
to sing. Oh, damn, I can't get it.
But I don't do anything with Coca-Cola anymore. After they told their employees something.
No, their Coke is racist.
Yeah. Yep. We'll leave it at that.
So we got Oscar Mayer Wiener with the Bologna. And I know it's bologna. It's called Bologna. Bologna, Spain. Coke song. Wendy's. What else do we have? The Calgon. Duncan. That guy was famous too. They had the character who used to do that. He used to like have to get out of bed, JT, like, ugh. The alarm would go off like 3, 4 in the morning or something, right?
Buddy brings up some good history for us here about the Joker that we're reading. Issues 1 through 9 were from May 75 through October 76. Issue 10 was not published originally in the 70s, but in 2019.
Oh,
and then the new series picks up in 21 and 22.
Wow. Very cool, buddy. Thank you. Very cool.
I wonder where they found that issue 10. Just like hiding out in somebody's like work vault somewhere for decades.
I'm gonna Tim has clarified about the Cheers thing as well. Thank you, buddy. That's awesome. Issue 10. Maybe if we can remember everybody, we'll pick up number 10 at the bottom end of this. If we can remember to do it. Oh, it is gone now. That's a shame. It also had the Star Trek Enterprise D-Bridge. There you go, JT. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the time to make it the donuts guy, he was hilarious. And he would just drag his ass out of bed and he'd just shuffle along, then he'd go into work. Because he was like, man, it's early, dude. He's kind of an older guy, like maybe in his 30s or something. He wasn't young, dude. He was funny. All those characters were funny back in the day. So we got Oscar Mayer, Coke, Wendy's, Calgon, Duncan, Double Mint Twins. So maybe we'll do a show, an impromptu show sometime during the week, maybe. Cool. Anything?
Yeah.
Anybody from the chat? Any cool? Great comments, man. Tim's been to the real one. Buddy knows his comic. Lady V. Oh yeah, Bologna.
All right.
Nice. And short and sweet, these comics. I'm dragging it out now. It's only been an hour 40.
Oh yeah, if we get disciplined enough, we could probably do 2 next week. We'll have to talk about that after the show.
Well, there's only 9 plus the extra.
Well, we may decide we want to do the 21 to 22. Well, you never know.
We'll see. We never have to do the whole runs, right? Drink.
We must. We must finish what we start.
Oh, well, this one, but we're not going to do 1 through 80 Deadpool run and only one a night.
No.
That's a year of every week. Plus, it's a year and a half. It's more than a year and a half. Now, I have a Batman Superman run from 2000.
Dude, we'd be sick and tired of reading Deadpool for that long. Like even by the time I got to the end of that, we'd be like, no, not another issue. Please.
Yeah, so if we could do big runs and then you only do like 10 or 5 or 6 just to introduce the run and say, okay, here you go, folks. We just introduced it. I mean, if we pick one that only has 9 or 10, we have to finish that. That would be silly, unless it's just absolutely dog shit or something. And you're just like, screw it, we're out. You guys want to read the rest of this crap? We're moving.
Well,
on. But I doubt if we pick it.
It has to be worse than PSG 14.
Ugh. Yeah, or the end of Black Panther, which I didn't remember being that crazy. That one is just crazy.
Well, now you do.
Well,
That's the one you sell. You know. Anyway, so
all right, JT, what do you got coming up the rest of the week?
the rest of the week, Friday, we'll be starting that long Memorial Day weekend in the U.S. So I will be on Mark D with the C's, and for some late night Fortnite, assuming he's still on. I think we are.
Not
You
this
also
weekend.
may see me at a mystery stream with someone that was here earlier with a 55 in their name. Let's see.
Cool.
Our agents are still in talk with that, so we'll see. You know, the contract hasn't been ironed out. I told him I want all the money on the front side. He wanted to give me merchandising rights. I'm like, damn it, come on. Anyway, in all seriousness, I might hop on with him, but for sure I know Mark D. Let's see, Friday night, and then Saturday night we will be doing another episode of Star Trek Enterprise on the Great Admiral Teague's channel for Saving Star Trek, and I look forward to seeing many of you over there. But I hope to see everybody. And then Sunday, I don't know what I'm doing, but probably watching Mark for his Sunday Night Geekery, which, by the way, Dave, I know you were on. I don't know how much of that you got to enjoy, just kind of sitting back. I think Mark got up to like 60 or 70 concurrents at one point, and the chat was just like flying by, and it was nuts. That was a fun show.
You're welcome, lady.
And we got to embarrass Mark D. See a little bit with the super chats.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. So
yeah, thank you, Lady V, and always good to see you.
Yeah,
and
thanks, Lady V,
as well.
What about you, Dave? What do you have going on? I know you have something coming up tomorrow, right?
A couple hours away, north of Orlando. So I'm more than likely doing that. So I won't be anywhere this weekend. Definitely won't be doing Friday night Fortnite if I go, because I'll be leaving either Friday late afternoon, or early Saturday morning, because I have no desire to be driving toward Orlando on the weekend.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, there's one route that I could take that's easy, but even early in the morning, it's Interstate 4. I've dealt with that a couple times in the past. No way in hell. So I'm gonna have to go down and up.
They don't collect tolls on that, do they?
Huh?
They don't collect tolls on that section.
I don't think there is on. There might be a small one, but the one I go, I have to pay some tolls, but it's worth it to avoid that traffic, unless I leave like at 3 a.m, which gets me there like 5:30, which is way too early. So that's not going to happen. I'm not going to show up there. It's to meet some friends that are some of their family. It's about 2.5 hours away, which means about 4. If I go to Route 4, it's probably 6. If I don't leave at the right time, that 4 it can be dead still traffic. It's Disneyland or Disney World, whatever the hell it's called, right? Everybody kind of knows that. So yeah,
I believe it's the Walt Disney World.
Walt Disney World, exactamente.
Even though they don't want to say his full name, I will.
There's a slim chance I will be back for Sunday Night Geekery, but I don't know if I'll be up for it. Like when I get back, I might just go to bed or something. We'll see. I know tomorrow night I'm doing, because of the late great Pee Wee Herman, aka Paul Rubens, did a cameo in the Blues Brothers that we had watched. So tomorrow I'm doing Cheech and Chong's next movie, which is absolutely hilarious because he's in that one and he's funny shit in that one too. Most people don't remember it, but they kind of do if you bring it up. That is a funny Cheech and Chong movie, dude. Have you ever seen it?
No, I have not.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's hilarious. It's not the one that has Dave's Not Here, Man. That's the first one they did. This is their next movie.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing it because of I had it downloaded, and it's got Pee Wee in it. And then do some crazy stuff as well. I mean, just absolutely hilarious stuff. And you don't have to smoke the ganja to be watching it either, even though it's Cheech and Chong. It's just fun.
Oh, good.
No, I mean, that's what they do throughout the whole, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's not Nice Dreams. There's the other one's Nice Dreams. I think the first movie is the one that the whole van is made of weed and they're trying to bring it in over the border.
Yeah, see, I don't like that because it's legal out where I live. And so every day I'm trying to go to work or come home and some jackass in front of me is just smoking. Mm-hmm. And, you know, all 12 cars around you can smell it. And it's like, I really didn't want to get high off of your stanky ass weed. Sorry for being old, folks. I'm just like, it's rude as shit. First of all, it's illegal.
It's terrible.
But I'm like, second, it stinks. Third of all, I did not ask to partake in drugs with you. So please don't do it. Anyway, well, so that's probably why I haven't seen Cheech and Chong, because I'm just like, stop this, guys.
Well, next movie, yeah, I mean, they're stoners, right?
Yeah.
But the way they do it, and they're living in this house. I don't want to spoil or there's some. It's funny too. You should watch it. You might not like it, but I like it. It's hilarious. And you know, even on my live stream before, I'm like, who the hell is my fucking neighbors are stinking up my place? You remember? And I complain, and I told you this, but underneath the bathroom cabinet, the wood. The pipes that go through the wood that go into the wall, the connectors were just loosely hanging there. So I taped them up, and then I just felt the blast of air back there when I was up under there. And I was like, where is this air coming from? And it was definitely coming from the bathroom horribly. And then I've caught two people, one to the bottom left, one to the top right. And I think my downstairs guy, who's actually the maintenance guy who's helps me with stuff, so I don't complain. He smokes the cigarettes too much, but the weed was horrible coming into my apartment. Like my clothes are smelling like it. I had to leave once, and I've been dealing with this before, and I'm not dealing with it anymore. But backtracked underneath the bathroom cabinet. There was up in the top back part, the wood. There was a big, I don't know, about 12 inch, almost a foot, about an inch wide, no cabinet, but no damn wall. One of the small pipes went just straight into the wall. So the gaps between the walls extended all the way to everybody, the whole damn building. So if somebody even 2 or 3 doors down, or the next door neighbor, even not below me, could even be the next guy. And I've seen them sitting out back smoking weed. So it's really only bad when it rains. It's Florida. It rains a lot, even though they have a porch. If it rains really, really bad, you're not going to sit on your porch like the other day. It was a bad storm came through. Just an afternoon one, lightning everywhere and shit, man, scared the shit out. Lightning hit right out back. And when it got cold. So when it gets down in the 40s, Floridians can't handle it. So they smoke all their weed and cigarettes inside. So I duct tape all that shit up, and it eliminated about 95% of it until it rains or gets cold. And then when I have the AC on, well, obviously not during winter, but when it rains, it comes through the vents, right? So I've dealt with it over and over and over again. It's been bad sometimes. It got really bad here until I duct taped pretty much the whole bathroom cabinet underneath, man.
Yeah.
And I showed the maintenance guy, and I said, well, here's the problem, man. There's a hole in the damn wall. And then there was a hole on the bottom side, too, that went straight to the back wall.
Yeah.
I said, oh, there you go. So now I know it's that dude down there. Not indirectly, but the guy next to my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Because I sat outside, watched them just blazing away. Because I couldn't even have my screen door. You know, I have a porch, the glass door, and then the screen door. I've had to shut my door several times because the guy over here to my right, who's a good 30, 40 feet away.
Oh, it carries.
It carries, and then it'll blow right into my window through the screen. I mean, my porch door through the screen, because then I look over and I think it's the guy to my bottom left, and it's the guy to my right, and he gets mad at me now because I opened the door, and he got mad, and jumped up and walked off. And I was like, you're not really the problem here, dude. I was going to say something to him, but I didn't want him to think I was trying to confront him. I was just going to tell him, don't worry, man. You can smoke all there. If you're smoking out there, I'm not just going to close my door.
Yeah.
If you get mad at that, then go fuck yourself. You know,
Yeah.
because I haven't even said anything to him. But, you know, I guess he thinks I'm ruining his day because I happen to stick my head outside and he's out there blazing away. He's a young guy, too. It's not a medical thing. He's working. He works. So I'm not going to,
Right.
you know, it's not a medical thing with him. The other guy's young, too. He's not some old dude, you know.
Right.
But anyway, I don't want to go off on tangents. I know how you feel. I mean, I tell people you can sit out there and blaze all day long. Don't give a damn. But when it comes into my clothes, my closet and my clothes, and I'm like, dude, really? When I was sitting here on a live stream about a year, what? You might have been there. I was like, what in the fuck is going on? I can't smell this shit. I can't breathe. I think it was Dad, man. Yeah. And I had to get up from the stream. I was a guest on somebody's stream. So anyway, that's about it. I went off on a tangent there. My bad.
Oh, you're good. You're
blaze
good.
away. Just don't blow it. And like cars, I can smell that shit.
Where legal in your local
cars
jurisdiction, of course. Don't violate any laws.
Nobody gives a shit down here. It's Florida, man. Go out there and smoke a doob. Walk around. As long as there's kids,
Where legal
and
where legal for the YouTubes.
But they sent a warning out. There's a small little drainage pond. I wouldn't even call it a pond. Very, very small. It's I wouldn't call it small, but it's an apartment pond. It's not big. Fucking alligator warning.
Yeah.
An alligator moved in out of nowhere, man. They get email the other day. It's like, stay away from the little drainage pond. There's a alligator sighting. I'm like, holy shit. I walk past that sidewalk all the time. And it doesn't take much of one of them things to come at you, man. If they're up for it, they don't care. Most of the time animals will stay away from you, right? But an alligator, who knows? Who knows? Like I went to see a friend of mine in an RV park and it had a huge kind of a lake. It was all woods and shit. They had big chain link fence with a bunch of signs on it. Don't go over here.
Don't go over there. Yeah.
We don't know if anything's in there. Don't even go near it. You know, and unfortunately people get bad things happen out here, man. Because people don't pay attention. Next to my old job, there was a Publix. They had a big drainage ditch. It was all fenced off except like one little corner. Signs everywhere. And it had a big sandbar. They had about a 12-footer out there, man. 10-footer. And it would sit out there on that damn sandbar. And we'd look out there. I was like, oh, look. I'd go out there with them, just looking around. See a dude standing on the sandbar fishing. Out of this shitty little hole. I'm like, dude, really? You're fishing in that thing? And then I realized, hey, you dumb motherfucker, it's fucking alligator. Eventually he left. I was like, well, I'm going to see something I'm not going to like.
Right.
As soon as that thing jumps up and snatches him. Because it was big enough. It wasn't a small one, you know. But anyway, I guess that'll be it. So thanks for being here. Got it right at 2 hours. Get you out of here.
Thanks for having me.
Always,
appreciate it.
Always, dude. All right. Shout outs to the crowd. They were awesome. Lady V, thank you so much. Buddy Hepburn, always my faithfuls. FKHC 2005. Gap After Dark. Dad Man made an appearance. Say hello. And I wanted to say somebody else, but maybe that's it. But as always, we had some lurkers, I'm sure. Thank you for being here. And if I missed you, I was thinking about you. Right? So you got a drink. One more last drink, right?
Right.
All right, guys. Take care.
See you, everybody.
See you tomorrow for the movie.